everyone, welcome to HQ Trivia. I'm Beric Livingstone, and I don't know what it was like where you are, but in old London town today, it was 25 degrees, blue skies, and I heard people calling it an Indian summer, which got me thinking about this curious term, the origins of which no one's exactly sure about. It's nothing to do with the country of India, it comes from North America, and we think it's a reference to Native Americans and the warm spells in autumn that were an opportunity to hunt and forage before winter. The wonderfully named John Hector St. John de Crèvecoeur used the term back in 1778, and he also wrote some of the things that shaped the notion of the American dream, by the way. Later, the term became popular over here, though up to the 1920s, you still might have heard people referring to an old wives' summer, or an all-Halloween summer, because really an Indian summer should come in October or November, after the weather's already been cold. But who cares? It was a sunny day, I'll take it. And hopefully we can warm up your evening, because we have £1,000 to be won or split if you can answer all 12 of tonight's questions correctly. You can use an extra life if you get a question wrong. 1 per game, except on the final cue. If you are eliminated, you can of course still watch the rest of the show. Now, we had our Savage Saturday this weekend just gone. We had quite a few winners, which leads me to believe that we may have underestimated you, and you wanted even meaner. What we did was run a show with all difficult questions, and too many people got them right. So, okay, challenge accepted. We're gonna make it so tough your brains will explode and a substance resembling guacamole will come out of your ears. All difficult all the time, that's Saturday. All right, for now, let's get straight on with Q1. What would you typically expect to find at the end of a sentence? A gift drop, a full stop, a can of pop. Now, don't get sententious. Just stay sentient, and you should get this one. If you went for a can of pop, then you're about to be thoroughly shaken. The completest of conclusions, it's a full stop. Yes, get to the point. 113,754 of you did at the end of that period. The term's also used to end a discussion. So mufti is not a font. Full stop. Q2. Miley Cyrus was the star of which Disney Channel TV program? Hannah Montana, Paloma, Oklahoma, Dakota, Minnesota. Yeah, her real name is Destiny Hope Cyrus. She is the goddaughter of Dolly Parton. Now, this is a persona she's well and truly left behind, but what was Miley known as before the Wrecking Ball incident? Quite the state it was, Hannah Montana. Enough to give anyone wig envy, that girl. 112,185 of you got that right. Disney cancelled the franchise after 4 seasons, something Miley was more than happy about. Coming up on Thursday is another theme night, and the theme is comedy. We'll probably start with some chimney jokes. We've got a stack of them. The first one's on the house. Actually, that's Tim Vine talking, but from comedy films to stand-up, we'll have trivia to tickle everyone. Join us for that. Q3. Which of the following was the name of the lunar landing site of Apollo 11? Lake of Lamentation, Sea of Tranquility, Pool of Peace. Now, they'd already had Project Mercury, which put the first American in space, and Project Gemini before the Apollo missions. But what was Apollo 11? They all sound squelchy, but which one did Neil Armstrong giant leap into? The most pleasant of the puddles, it was the Sea of Tranquility. The Mare Tranquillitatis, and 97,392 of you got that right, 97,000 that is. Despite the name, there is no water in the Sea of Tranquility. No, it's basalt, volcanic basalt. Didn't stop Armstrong wearing his armbands though. Q4. Yesterday by the Beatles had which working title? Scrambled eggs, whipped cream, fried tomatoes. The most covered song of all time, and unusual for its use of the string quartet, thank you George Martin. It's a proper feast for the ears, but which of these dishes was initially named after? Great breakfast, rubbish dessert, it's scrambled eggs. And you are the egg men and women, 57,105 of you. But a lot of people thought fried tomatoes, some people thought whipped cream. Yeah, well, McCartney wrote the melody in his sleep, which rather explains the breakfast-themed working title. Q5. Which of these pairs of actors is not made up of a father and son? Jerome and Johnny Flynn, Timothy and Rafe Spall, Sean and Jason Connery. Some big acting dynasties here. Which was not a paternal-filial relationship? They all have the acting gene, but who's passing it around rather than passing it down? Half-brothers. Instead of father and son, it's Jerome and Johnny Flynn. Both also musicians. 20,292 of you got that right, but it's the first savage question of the day. Question 5, savage. Sauvage. Jerome is best known as Bronn from Game of Thrones, while you can catch Johnny as Captain Dobbin in Vanity Fair. Q6. Which of these beauty brands is named after its founder? L'Oréal, Max Factor, Lancôme. Yeah, L'Oréal originally made hair dye, Max Factor originally making movie makeup, and Lancôme originally making perfume. 3 brands we eagerly put on our faces now, but who put their own founder on the logo? From superhero name to makeup fame, it's Max Factor. Max Factor, named after Maximilian Faktorovich. At second, savage question of the day, 8,032 of you getting that right. More people than that thought it was Lancôme, and nearly 6,000 thinking in L'Oréal. Yeah, it was Max Factor. Q7. The wedding of Prince Charles to Camilla Parker Bowles caused which sporting event to be delayed? The boat race, the FA Cup final, the Grand National. Camilla, of course, the Duchess of Cornwall. Charles, the Duke of Cornwall, Duke of Rothesay and the Prince of Wales. That's why we call them entitled. It's Britain's oldest sporting event, but which of these fledglings had to make way for the royal wedding? Stupid hats, stupider odds, it's the Grand National. And Camilla wore a rather nice hat for her wedding herself, I think. And another savage question at Q7 because 3,683 of you got that right. We lost 6,000 something of you on that one. Aintree delayed the race by 25 minutes, giving Camilla enough time to line up for the race. Now, there's just time for a quick shout out to Michael, I bumped into in town today, and to Dan Stubbs and to Sammy. Hello to all of you and good luck. Q8. Which of these portable cassette players was invented first? Walkman, stereo belt, roller radio. Now, this is an interesting question because when this was invented, nobody thought people would want to go around wearing headphones. Well, I guess they turned out to be wrong. Sony released the Walkman in 1979, but who'd been running the show since '72? Rocking the musical midriff, it was the stereo belt. Yeah, 969 if you got that right, but another savage question because we lost 3,500 of you. Yeah, a lot of people thought the Walkman, understandable. Roller radio, haven't seen that one, but it probably sounds cool. The love child of a boombox and a bum bag, though, the stereo belt, which is huge, made Batman's tool belt look minimalistic. All right, this is getting quite exciting. Let's go on to Q9. Which US president appeared on the largest denomination of currency the US has ever printed? Woodrow Wilson, Abraham Lincoln, James Madison. And you know there's a law that prohibits a living person from being on a dollar bill. Well, he got his face on Mount Rushmore, but Abe wasn't carved into this one. The progressive president with the papery name, it's Woodrow Wilson, and notable victories for 548 of you, but let's call this very beastly but not quite savage, 857 eliminated there. Printed in the 30s, the $100,000 notes are still legal tender, though they're only ever used for bank-to-bank transfers. All right, let's see who can bank it tonight. Q10. Dolph Lundgren made his first cinematic appearance in which of these movies? Masters of the Universe, A View to a Kill, Rocky IV. He's quite a guy, Dolph. He's got degrees in chemistry and chemical engineering. He was offered a Fulbright scholarship to MIT. He speaks loads of languages. He plays the drums. Playing He-Man was his first leading role, but where did we get our very first glimpse of Dolph's? Getting 00 lines in a 007 movie, it was A View to a Kill. Yeah, he was one of those henchmen, bodyguards to General Gogol. 176 of you got that right, but another savage question at Q10. This is more savage than the All Savage Show, it's crazy. Yeah, Dolph, he wasn't the one that Grace Jones lifted up over her head and threw down the stairs, but he was like helping him. He was dating Grace Jones at the time, and apparently she got him the job as a KGB henchman. All right. Q11. According to a 2018 study, which of these countries has the fastest broadband speeds? Malaysia, UK, Madagascar. This is from an analysis of over 160 million tests across 200 countries. Our internet's famously for... And I'm just joking. Oh, that wasn't a real freeze. We only reached number 35 here, though. Beaten by the island nation off the coast of East Africa, it's Madagascar. Yeah, did you have a guess? 47 people got that right. But yeah, another savage question. It's like a super savage Monday. 11. Question 11 was savage as well. Amazing. Okay then. All right. 47 people getting that right. 15 using extra lives to get back in. It's quite exciting. Pedals then to the digital metal because we're zooming into the final round. Like over 100,000 people playing this game. 47 getting that right, 15 of you using the extra lives. £1,000 still to play for. It all is going to hang on this last one. Okay, Q12. Which of these singers has written a children's book about a student who dreams of being on stage? Madonna, Mariah Carey, Ricky Martin. Some great children's books written by singers. My favourite is Julie Andrews, who wrote the last of the really great Wang Doodles. Anyway, a student who dreams of being on stage is a dream they've all achieved, but who committed the experience to paper? She may have written 7 kids' books, but you won't find Madge's name on this cover. Mariah may live La Vida Loca, but we're after the person who sings about it. It's Ricky Martin for the win. 26 winners tonight. That's what I like to see. The kind of quiz that eliminated loads and loads and loads of people. But 26 of you were absolutely brilliant and managed to smash it out of the park. And for your trouble, you are taking home £38.46 or 38 and 47, depending on how the cookie crumbles. So congratulations to Ben Roots, to Dylan02974. I hope that's not your password for anything. To Kibzihu, I can't even pronounce that, but it's a good name. And you've got a llama there. Is it a camel? Llama? Anyway, a nice looking creature beside you. To 84 Adam C, with some cool shades on. Well done, all of you. And thank you all for playing. How'd you do? Hard show, easy show? I think we know the answer to that. You can tell me on Twitter if you smashed it if you want to. I'm Beric Livingstone, and I'm at Beric Living on Insta as well. Hope you had fun tonight. We've got our comedy theme on Thursday, and before that, of course, we're back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. with our regular game of mixed questions and another £1,000 prize. Hope you can join us then, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.